Your real estate update for June 2025 is here. Whether you're a seller, a buyer, an investor, a builder, or just somebody interested in real estate, definitely pay attention because we're definitely seeing a rare shift here with some interesting buyer market dynamics. The activity is actually more than the headlines are telling you. Inventory continues to rise. We're seeing a ton of off-market inventory, and we're seeing builder incentives that are ripe for the taking in a market where people are telling you that nobody's building. If you're curious about where the best custom builds are, where you can find farm deals or off-market inventory, or you're just curious about the value of your home or how to buy, stay tuned because we'll give you the boots on the ground information on what we're actually seeing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Justin, one of the owners of Prime Real Estate with my incredibly talented wife. We have a Navy SEAL team of operators across Southwestern Ontario. What's super unique about us is we cover all asset classes: residential, commercial, investment, agriculture, and recreational properties across major and micro markets. So we can definitely give you an idea of what's happening in each of these asset classes and markets and how they cross-pollinate so you can make the best decision no matter what you're trying to accomplish in real estate. Even if you're not located in Southwestern Ontario, I think some of these insights you are going to be seeing in your own market. And if you're looking for an agent, whether you're looking to buy or sell in your own market, make sure to contact us below. For example, if you're looking in New York City, I can connect you with Mr. Ryan Serhant himself. He's a personal friend of the Prime family, and we have agents just like him all across North America and all over the globe. Now let's dig right into it. From a macro perspective, the Bank of Canada held its overnight rate to 2.75% in June. It's a steady pause after there were 7 rate cuts from June 2024 to March of 2025. Core inflation still remains sticky, and the central bank will act cautiously amidst all of the global uncertainties, including US tariffs and the wars that are happening overseas. The inflation targeting framework is under review, particularly how shelter costs may overstate inflation, but the 2% goal still remains the same. Now, let me give you some regional insights. As I'm reading these, jump in the comments and let me know how they reflect to your local markets. From the Toronto markets or TREB system, the average sales price is now $1.11 million, down 4% year over year. Days on market is rising. It's at about 33 days compared to 28 days last spring, and over half the condos are still selling under asking price. For buyers, it means there's more options, higher negotiation power, especially with condos. And for sellers, price your homes competitively or consider off-market inventory strategies to get deals done faster. Now, for investors, oversupply among new condos signals some opportunity, focusing on value add, renovation, and flips, and cash flow tends to be creeping in a little bit more depending on where you're looking. Now, for builders, keep your eye on the incentives that are rolling out from municipal and federal partnerships. And it seems to be like times are looking better for custom builds and rental projects, although the demand still isn't where it should be in those sectors. I also like highlighting the London St. Thomas market. London, Ontario is actually a test market. It's one of our primary markets, and large national corporations use it as a barometer for the rest of the country because not every single city is like Toronto or BC. Again, jump in the comments and let me know if your town is more like London and St. Thomas, which is about 400,000 people, then it would be comparable to Toronto. The average price in London is about $656,000. The months of inventory is 4.5, and there's about 2.8 sales per 10 listings. So for every 10 listings that are out there, you got to make sure you're in the top 3. Now, for buyers, moderate inventory does give you room to negotiate, but keep in mind, some of the deals that we're seeing are so far under asking price, sellers don't even want to counter. Now, the real secret is the good agents are brokering deals. One of my good friends, Glenda Baker, world famous on TikTok, and I were talking this morning, and she was saying so many deals in Atlanta are getting stuck together with bubblegum and spit. And that's so true. So many of the deals that we ended up doing started in so much under what we actually got the number to. And brokering the deal is an absolute art form, but you got to make sure you hire somebody who knows that art form, not just look for the cheapest option, because the cheapest option might cost you the most money by not being able to get the property sold. I also think there's great farm deals out there right now. Some of the big boys are battling it out in the farm sector, but you're still seeing some gorgeous hobby farms trading for great prices. And there's so much opportunity with small custom builds, definitely under that $1 million mark. There's some great products out there that you can get into, and builders want to keep their crews busy. So start the conversation. Don't just go shopping from site to site to site. Ask them what they're going to build you dollar per square foot. That's the worst question you can ask a builder. You want to really dig into the track record. You want to give them your specs. You want to see if they can build what you want to build within your budget. And you want to work with somebody who actually knows the industry and can deliver a great product. But I digress. For sellers, well-priced homes are still moving quickly and staying very competitive. You'd actually be surprised how many multiple offer situations we have seen lately, but you do have to find the market. Now, for investors, there is a lot of inventory out there. You have to know your numbers. I've never believed in buying strictly on passive appreciation. Investors are definitely looking for cash flow, but we've traded a couple large apartment buildings recently for great numbers where the investors are saying it'll never sell for that. You'd be surprised. Good purpose-built product is still moving for prices that are a little bit sharper than what the investors say they want to pay, because I still think that people are looking at 5 or 10-year timeframes, not necessarily what's happening today. Another more affordable market closer to the border is Sarnia Lambton. So the average price is $543. It is a slight dip year over year. Sales are actually up 10%. Months of inventory is actually less than London at 3.5. From a buyer's perspective, it's actually more of a balanced market than some of the larger markets, but it's still a good entry point. For sellers, they're seeing stable values, incremental price growth that cannot be ignored. And for investors, I think it's actually undersupplied relative to the population. So a lot of investors are starting to look at it as a good rental market. And I would say the same trends are happening in the Chatham-Kent area. They're seeing steady activity with rising listings. We're actually working on a large affordable home project in the area because it needs it. We were actually surprised at some of the numbers that we saw when we were in the analysis on that deal. And I still think there's an opportunity in that area for land or farm style redevelopments, off-market inventory, and some undiscovered properties that will trade. They just don't know if it's time to put them on the market. I want you to keep your eye on the markets in Grand Bend, Port Stanley, places like Lucan and Bayfield. You are actually seeing quite a bit of activity in the Grand Bend and Bayfield area. There's been a lot more sales than people expected in the last 30 days. While Port Stanley's been a little bit slower, but at the same time, to be honest with you, there's a whole bunch of projects that are launching there and product is still trading hands. Where I think Port Stanley might have an edge right now is they have some incredible things that have just opened up in the area, like Riva, Port Stanley Brewing Company. It is lively. They're launching a big music event with a good friend of mine, Brent Lively, which we are happy to support. And I think Port Stanley might be a dark horse. So if you're looking to build or you're looking to buy a recreational property in any of those markets, let us know and we can definitely give you some more insights that you might not be able to find on MLS. Now, high level, where are the opportunities for buyers? Lean into the markets with high months of inventory. In Toronto, obviously condos, some resort towns, and some mid-sized centers. Sunningdale in London, for example, has about 50 active listings currently, and there's some great buys in that area. For sellers, get ultra sharp on your price points and make sure that you are not dealing with price erosion. Monitor what's happening in the market and actually react to it. For investors, I would say start shifting to smaller markets than the GTA because I think there's great opportunities for you in a place like London, Sarnia, Chatham. And back to the builders, like I'm saying, federal municipal incentives, they want you to build. Hopefully they're going to keep looking at cutting more taxes and being developer friendly. And I think staying on top of those incentives are going to give you a great opportunity. Also, keep your eye out for land developments outside of London. Look at places like Lucan, look at Exeter, look at Alvingston, look at areas where the population is actually going, because you're going to find a market of buyers that are underserved. So if you're curious about off-market inventory, custom build opportunities, builder incentives, or farm deals across Southwestern Ontario, send us a message below. We would love to connect with you and show you what the Prime Insiders get.